Hey guys, welcome to Drink Coin. It's Tyler again, and I just kind of wanted to go over some quick info on what actually is going on with like cannabis stocks on the market right now, because everything just kind of blew up the past couple days. Not just even like one or two here, but pretty much the entire like cannabis industry, whether it's US stocks or stocks based in Canada or anything of that nature. Two of the main big ones I'm looking at right now are SNDL and Organigram Holdings, and they both basically specialize in making like marijuana products and medical marijuana products based out of THC and CBD and things of that nature. And both of these, if you just look at the charts right here, they're identical for how their growth trended the last day. This is pretty insane. It's a lot of it's based around speculation that the US government's going to be looking towards federalization in the next year or two potentially. The CEO of TLRY, which is another cannabis stock that we have going on that I've been tracking, has been very optimistic that this is going to get done. Basically, if you're looking to get into the industry right now, this is a very good time for you to get in. Everything's kind of blowing up. I would look for a dip on either Organigram or Sundial specifically, because a lot of the big cannabis stocks are a little bit higher up in the price for what you pay for. Sundial still classified as a penny stock. Organigram kind of broke through that the past few days. I mean, this is just on like a crazy trend just from the past 5 days. You just look at that, it's insane. They went from $2 up to $7.50 almost by the end of today. Definitely too, you want to keep on your radar for right now if you're trying to break into the cannabis industry for stocks that you want to look out for. My next video, I'm going to be talking to you about a really good ETF that focuses on the cannabis industry that you can get into too if you want to look for more long-term stuff and not look at as volatile of type of stocks that these are. But TLRY is another fast rising cannabis stock as well. They're a little higher up on the trend. They are valued a lot higher, and they've been a lot more popular just with stockholders in general over the past few years as compared to these other two that are relatively unknown up until the last few days. Like Sundial was trending on Twitter earlier for an insane amount of time. I think I had like 40,000 tweets about it at one point because it was blowing up so much. But especially with the CEO coming out saying he expects federal legalization within the next 2 years, it's very optimistic for what could potentially be down the road for cannabis stocks in general, especially if you invest now and hold stuff long term. He specifically referenced the fact that we've got Mexico and Canada doing positive stances on marijuana legalization and everything like that. And so this is going to be something you definitely want to look forward to over the next year and possibly into early 2022. All right, so coming over here, just doing a quick technical analysis for both Sundial and Organigram. Starting with Sundial, we've got the VWAP here. Obviously, it's been kind of trending above that for most of the time that it's coming out of here. You can see the VWAP here is about 3.3, and this is going into after hours. Sundial just absolutely blew up after hours. It was sitting like right under $3 around close, and then after hours it exploded to like a 3.6, which is just absolutely absurd. So I'm looking for this potentially to break through with this amount of momentum that it's on, with this upper channel that it's following, either tomorrow or Friday for close, especially with all the momentum for all the other cannabis stocks pushing into. All of it is just going to keep rapidly rising. And I would say if you can get into early market tomorrow where it had like this early dip in around here and buy low, I would absolutely drop in and try to sell at the end of the day and just get like a nice little short day trade in for you, just to swing that price up, and you can make a nice little scalp off the top of that, especially if you can go from like a 2 down here all the way up to 3.6. That would be absolutely insane. I'm going to be looking for it to support around here around the 3.2 line and the 2.6 line for different indications of what the stock is going to do. If we get around market close this morning and it's sticking around this 3.2, this is going to be a very nice kind of bounce up where it could potentially just be expanding up here pretty hard, which will be really good. And this will show you a good indication of what it's been doing the past 5 days. It's got, if we go over here, this is just on the 8th, it was down $1, just above $1, maybe $1.10 almost is what it's rounded up to, and we've already gone up almost 4 times just in that amount of time, which is absurd. Definitely you want to keep an eye on this, and if you're looking to get into a cheap stock that you could potentially make a quick profit on, this would be the one you go for right now. As for a long-term hold, I wouldn't be able to tell you where you want to stay, but this is going to be a nice little setup for you. Now coming over here to our Organigram, it's going to be kind of a similar setup, you know, coming back on the 8th, this one was around 2.4, and you had it peak after hours here at almost $7.50, which is crazy. Again, it's like 3-4 times higher than it was just a few days ago. It's following a similar trend. It's staircasing upwards. It's beating the VWAP every time it's coming up. What I'm looking for is for it to follow kind of this channel coming in tomorrow. It did close around just below $6 range before it exploded. So I'm going to look for it to kind of support around the 6.3 from the after hours and see if the momentum carries into market opening tomorrow. And then I'm also going to check around this 5.5 range, is 5.48, to see if it can bounce off that, if it somehow drops lower than this. And that's going to be the more stable support point that I'm going to look for. And if it can hold around there, I'm going to expect it to kind of bounce back up and follow this channel and keep this positive trend. If this keeps going on the growth that it goes, I could see this potentially hitting $10 or double digits in general in the next week and a half, 2 weeks, if the momentum for cannabis stocks keeps going, especially the way that it's gone up 3 times in just the last 4 days for the stock price. So these are definitely 2 stocks that you want to keep an eye on, and I am going to recommend that you at least put them on your watch list and see if you can buy into them real cheap while they're just in their upward trends at the moment still, and carry on with that momentum. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you guys are ending the week midway through on a green note, especially if you're following my last 2 videos, DSS and ZOM. Both of those are just up huge right now compared to where I bought in. I'm looking at DSS to be up $1 from my price point tomorrow, looking to maybe test the 4.5 range, and I'm looking for ZOM to keep just slowly, steadily climbing to that mid-March point. So definitely check those videos out and see my analysis on those if you haven't already, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to keep telling me how you feel about the content and if there's anything else you want me to look forward to in the future. I'll catch you guys next time, and peace.